morning, everybody. This is Jean here. And Maxwell. Maxwell has been out of commission for a while. And I said, people would like to see you and wonder how you are. We got lots of prayers.
I'm here.
Maxwell is here. So you want to tell people, if they're new here, what happened?
I had a surgery March 4th in a sensitive area. And
Speak up.
I've been out of commission for about 5 weeks.
5 or 6 weeks now. 6 weeks tomorrow. Yeah, 6 weeks tomorrow. And was it a success?
Yes.
It was a success at the end of the day.
Yes.
Yes, it was a success. But after a grueling 6 weeks of things that sort of went wrong.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. Because that's negative, right? And we're trying to be positive and standing strong and
strong-ish.
Strong-ish. Yeah, Maxwell has. I think you've lost weight.
No, just lost all my muscle definition.
You have lost muscle definition.
But I weigh the same. That's like funny.
Isn't that funny?
I weigh the same.
Yeah.
227.
227.
But I lost
Maxwell
all the muscle mass with the 5 weeks.
Yeah. Maxwell's lost a lot because pretty much he's just been laying around and trying to recuperate.
Going from bed to couch, comfy chair and going into kitchen when I need to stuff my face.
That's it. And you've not been eating as much. You've not been eating as much at all. Definitely.
Oh, well, when your body wants you to sleep, I tend to eat less.
Yeah. So hopefully, as of now, I'm filming this on the 14th of April.
I'm just going to take a little sippy.
Okay. It's been a very, very challenging springtime, but hopefully the summer is going to come. For the second time, you got actually dressed, and we went to the memorial of Jesus Christ's death the other evening, something that we celebrate. You got dressed in your suit because we did. Maxwell, sister. We did go to one of our congregation meetings last week. How was that?
30 minutes of tired.
Yeah, that.
Very tiring.
Yeah, you pushed it a little bit.
No, I didn't push it.
But tell me.
No, I was fine. But you wanted to leave, so I went with you.
I wanted to leave because I looked at you and you were pale, and because we have been zooming into our congregation meetings for the last month, and we miss meeting with everybody, with the congregation. So we went last week. It was a bit much, but we went to the memorial and it was lovely. Saw a lovely bunch of people for a very beautiful, solemn occasion. That was lovely. I will put some pictures up. We didn't get pictures of all of our family, but the ones that had sent pictures, because we're not obviously all in the same congregation. We're scattered about a little bit here and there. So we just wanted to say hello. The video to come, just a few of the clips, is I'm working on a quilt that you have seen. Ian had shown it. It's not an easy quilt, but I'm finding it like mindless sewing to come into my sewing room. Yeah, I'm doing well. So I'm showing you I'm doing Prairie points. Again, this is not a tutorial. This is just over a simple overview of how I'm doing my Prairie points. Go on.
Are you a little bit nervous? What are you doing?
Oh no, my nail is shredding. Look, it just as I was sitting here. Did you ever have that? From 1 second to the next. Did you ever have that, Maxwell?
I don't have shredding of nails.
No, it didn't like shred. Or did it?
You literally said it on camera.
Well, excuse me. No, sometimes your nails just go.
Don't panic.
It's mirror image. Don't panic, Maxwell. Don't panic. We're not panicking. Don't panic. And then that one says,
no, I'm not grabbing this.
No, don't. You're after. It says, now panic and freak out. So anyway, we're...
Oh, I thought you meant that one.
Oh, go on then.
No.
Go on.
I'll do that at the end. No.
Okay, I'll take a picture of you. You need a haircut. You need it all cut. You got curly hair.
I don't like it.
Oh, Maxwell, your hair's beautiful. Don't say that. Don't say that. It's lovely. Really nice. Yeah. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video to come. Maxwell's here. He's in an upright position. We're doing okay. Okay.
It's shiny.
You're shiny.
What is this?
It's Rick Rack, Maxwell.
Oh. I was...
Maxwell is getting distracted. It's enough now. Stop. Okay, thank you, folks. I hope you enjoy this video.
Yeah, are you gonna edit that out?
I am gonna edit that out.
Oh, or just
I'm gonna edit that out.
or just leave it in there.
I'll just leave that in there.
Or
no, I think I'll edit.
No,
it.
Just leave it.
All right, Maxwell.
Hi.
No, goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.
All right, folks.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Maxwell. So this is how far I've gotten with my next row of Prairie points here. And as you can see, all I've done is I've cut a piece of fabric. I've done about an inch and a half, 2 inches wide of just some scrap fabric here. And I have cut my Prairie points. I have cut squares that are 3.5 inches square from both my orange and then my my fabric bundle. I had gotten a 10-inch square pack of Tula Pink fabric from the Roar fabric line, and I've cut 3.5-inch squares. What I've done is I've gone over to my ironing board and I've folded the squares in half on the diagonal to make a triangle. Now, by all means, we're going to be folding these again on the diagonal to make this little triangle here, which has a fold and then an open end here. Now, I'm going to be configuring my Prairie points on my scrap piece of fabric here with the fold facing towards me, okay? The fold is facing towards me, and what I'm going to do is, because I'm alternating it, I'm doing orange, as you can see, orange and then print, orange and then print, to pick up the print of the border that I have shown you. I'm going to be folding my next piece, my next Prairie point, in half again. And what I've done is, as you can see, I've put on a Prairie point and I've stitched it along this raw edge. Doesn't matter about the piece of fabric here, it's just a scrap piece. I've put the open fold towards me. That way, on the previous one, I can slot the next one in. But as you can see, I have left my needle down about 1/4 of an inch away from where this is still open on my orange piece. I'll show you with my next orange piece. So here I am taking my next pre-folded 3.5-inch square, and I'm going to lift my presser foot. My needle is down. Now I'm going to slot that Prairie point right in there and lay that down. You can see that. Now this is just raw edge on a hunk of fabric, okay? But I've just slotted that down. I've just slotted that into the previous Prairie point, and I have this opened edge towards me. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just go slowly. I'm going to about 1/4 of an inch away from the next one that I'm going to do. I'm going to fold my Prairie point, and again, I always want to have this open end towards me. Okay, so that fold, we're going to iron these, so you can pre-iron them if you want, but press them if you want into this shape, but I'm fine doing it this way. Now my needle is down. I'm going to put my presser foot up, and that gives me the space to open up the top one and just lay that next one down with the flap towards me. Now I know, because these are all folded, they're all cut and folded the same exact way, that my points are going to be the same. I know there's a formula, I don't know what that is. So there I am, about 1/4 inch away on the previous one. Needle down, presser foot up. I'm going to grab another orange one. I'm going to fold that,
making sure that my fold, my open fold is towards me. Lift up the previous one, tuck that right into up to where that needle is. Make it straight on my hunk of fabric here, and just stitch it down. Again, about 1/4 of an inch away, so I have my needle down. So now what I'm going to do, I'm sitting right in front of my needle, okay? And everything is really nice and square on my machine. Now I have my Prairie point piece here, okay? That's right in front of me. And you don't have to worry about all that raw edge and how we sewed it on, because as you can see, it's nice and straight, but because I've cut my border, this piece of fabric here, exactly the same, what I'm doing is I'm turning it over. You can go iron this if this is a method you like. I'm not pulling anything. I'm just working with the next 4, 5, 6 inches, and I'm just turning that over about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch on the edge. And all I'm doing is I'm covering all that mess. I'm just covering all that mess, and I'm going right up. There's a lot of Prairie points in here, but don't worry about that. That'll be hidden in the fabric border. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling up my border. Everything's lovely and straight. I'm not pulling anything. Nothing is being stretched, and I'm stitching extremely close. I'm just stitching my border to my Prairie points. That's all. Going very, very slow, making sure everything is extremely square in front of me and straight. I'm just going to tuck all those raw edges, and I'm just going to lay that folded end right there on top of my Prairie points, and I'm stitching very close. Am I recording? Oh yeah, I hope I was recording. And I'm just stitching very close to the edge. And this is what my finished top will look like. But then I'll show you, hopefully, because I've never done this before. I've never done Prairie points at all. That's why they're a little bit of a mess, but they look nice. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just laying that down. It's probably totally unconventional because I don't know how to do it. And I looked up a load of YouTube things, and it was all very precise. And this looks fine. It's fine. So needle down. Always needle down. And always keeping everything just nice and square. I find that very important. I'm sitting right in front of the needle, and I'm just placing my border right down. Tuck all this rubbish in. A little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. Everything's straight, and I'm just not pulling anything, just letting it relax. And as you can see, I'm just stitching that down. Again, not going fast. Very close to the edge. And that's my finished quilt top edge, as you can see. Really, really nice. But don't worry about what it looks like on the back side, because that's a raw edge there. What we're going to do, in fact, I'll just show you right now. So what I'm going to do is, I think what I'm going to do is, when I go to finish my quilt, when I'm putting my backing on, obviously my wrong side's going to be to my wrong side with the batting inside. I'm going to make that a lot bigger. Okay, say this is my backing. I'm going to make that a lot bigger. Well, then I'm going to trim down. I'm going to have it out here, okay? And I'm going to quilt my entire quilt top. Okay, I'm going to quilt it. And how I'm going to quilt it? I'm going to quilt probably like to do a free motion quilting in this design here, and then probably go back over that edge to secure it to the backing. So it's all quilted. My quilt top is all quilted. And then I have this flappy backing extra. What I'm going to do is, after it's all quilted and it's the backing is sort of attached here, I'm going to turn over, I'm going to trim, and I'm going to turn over my backing fabric like so. And just like that. And it's all quilted here. I'm just going to leave it just maybe a ½ an inch. I'm going to turn it over onto my prairie points, and I'm going to oh yeah, believe it or not, I'm going to hand stitch my backing just like that. Having it's all quilted, I'm going to hand stitch my backing to my prairie points right there, so that the front is finished off prairie points and then the back is finished off really, really nice, making sure that the backing doesn't show. But I'm going to cover all of this raw seam here, all of the edging. I'm going to just stitch, people would stitch a binding on. Well, my backing is going to become the finished edge of my prairie points. My prairie points are the finished edge of my quilt, but the backing will finish that off lovely. So that's my plan. Is I have to figure out how I get an orange square up here. Now I know there is a formula, I don't know what that is, but with my opening side, all of my openings are going this way. So all of my openings are going this way. As you can see, there's my openings. So I've made this prairie point just slightly smaller. Now there's the piece of fabric that we've sewed it on, and I'm going to just slot, just like I showed you over at my sewing machine. Your eye's not going to see that. Your eye's not going to see that. I've just made that a little bit smaller, like so, and I've taken it almost to the edge, like that, like so, and then I had to do this before. I put this one over here, and I'm turning this around like so. Now this is where I had to really get creative in my pinning, and you know me, I don't love to pin, but to get this nice orange point there with no raw edges, you're having to pin. It's a little bit fiddly and a little bit finagling, but hopefully you can see. And as I said, I know there's a proper formula for doing this, but I don't know what it is. So what I've done is I've just finagled my border like so. And when I come to it, I'll just tuck all of that raw edge in like so. And as you can see, put this up just slightly like that. As you can see, I get a nice square orange border. It's just as I said, it's just a matter of finagling. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start that 1/4 inch. I'm going to start just pinning just to begin this like so, making sure that that back piece is nice tucked under, and then I'm going to just start stitching very close to that edge right there, very close to that edge. Hopefully you can see that. My my border to the prairie points. At the very end of the day, that's what my quilt top's going to look like, but this is what it's looking like on the back here. But don't worry about that right now. This is all going to be covered up with the backing fabric. I'm going to be hand stitching, if you can imagine that's being my backing fabric made bigger. I'm going to be hand stitching my backing to cover up all of this. I'm really pleased the way it's turned out. Again, as I said, I'm not quite sure if this is how you're supposed to do it, but this is how I did it.